25 years, huh? 25 years it's been for WWE. It's been 25 years for the WWE. Turn my fan over. It's been 25 years. Now, I'm getting this review out now because, you know, I'm getting this review up as quickly as I can because I got things to do afterwards. You know, among other stuff, I just got things on my mind right now. So, let's talk about Raw 25. I honestly, and I'm going to say this with the bottom of my heart, I've been a fan of WWE for a long time. I've been a fan of WWE since 2004. That's when I literally started watching WWE. 2004. And I'm going to tell you that even though this is Raw 25, I can tell you guys that who here literally enjoyed the show? That's what I want to know. Like, who really cared about this show? Maybe people just enjoyed it for the hell of it. But I really didn't enjoy this show. I don't know why. I know it's a celebration, but I felt like the show really let itself go. Some people might say, "Oh, come on, man. You know, lighten up. It was a great show, you know. We had fun. We saw the return of the Bella Twins, Kelly, Maria. We saw a lot of people make their return to WWE." Honestly, though, that's probably all I really enjoyed. Seeing Nikki Bella, seeing Kelly. You know, we saw all the past GMs. We saw Charlotte make her brief appearance, and I think she was another one I was pretty much excited for. That I was happy to see. I just really didn't. This show just really fell flat, in my opinion. People can say what they want to say. If you want to say that you enjoyed the show, cool. You can tell me you enjoyed the show. I'm not going to say you're wrong. Everybody is entitled to their own opinions. Everyone's entitled to their own opinions. If you didn't enjoy anything, you can tell me that you didn't enjoy it. If you did enjoy it, then you can say that you enjoyed it. Honestly, I just really didn't enjoy this show. Like I said, there were a few times I felt excited. You know, start of the show, Stone Cold. It was good to see Stone Cold. I was excited to see the Bella Twins. I was excited that Kelly came back. You know, the Bella Twins and Kelly. You know, I love them. You know, they're great. And I had a lot of fun seeing Charlotte. You know, it was always great to see Charlotte, even though I see her every single week on SmackDown. But you get my point. But honestly, I'm not saying, oh, I didn't enjoy seeing Trish Stratus and all. Yeah, it was good to see all of them, but I just wasn't really, you know, genuinely excited to see her like I was with Kelly and the Bella Twins. I'm not being rude or anything, that I'm not saying, oh, I really didn't care about Trish Stratus. No, I know Trish Stratus was a big part of history, but the thing that I question is, what did Terry Runnels do? And Maria. Now when I heard Maria was coming back, I was pretty much like, yeah, okay. You know, they were hyping up Maria, that she was gonna make a comeback. I was like, yeah, I guess I'm okay with Maria, but they considered Maria a legend among with Kelly and the Bellas and all them. I'm like, okay, I understand that they're trying to hype this up, but the Bella Twins, yes, I think they are future Hall of Famers. We all know the Bella Twins are future Hall of Famers, but I really wouldn't consider wouldn't consider Kelly, I wouldn't consider Maria, and I wouldn't really consider Terry Runnels a legend. I wouldn't really call them legends. I was really surprised that they didn't have Lita there. That was actually one of the biggest shocks. I was surprised Lita wasn't there. And I'm kind of a bit sad that they didn't really let AJ Lee come. Now, of course, I know some people would say, oh, well, you shouldn't be surprised she didn't come. But do you want to know what else was surprising? They actually showed two things of CM Punk. They showed two things of CM Punk. They had that, when they, at the start of the show, they were showing this big graphic of all the big highlights. They had that highlight of Paige beating AJ Lee in that Divas match for the championship on her Raw debut. They had that there. And they also had that scene where you hear CM Punk say, "Pipe bomb!" And they also had a photo of him sitting like this with the microphone doing that. They had a shot of him doing that when they were showing off all the photos, and I was very surprised they showed that. I was very surprised they showed that stuff of CM Punk. I was very surprised they did. And that's what made me think, I'm like, hey, there could be a strong possibility they might let AJ come back. If it was up to me, if I had to decide who would stand on that podium, Lita, Trish, and the Bella Twins would definitely be there. I'd have AJ there as well. Maurice, I was okay with Maurice being there. But Maria and Terry Runnels kind of confused me. It kind of confused me. Tori Wilson, yeah, I am familiar with Tori Wilson, but I will say this, Terry Runnels and Maria kind of didn't make a lot of sense to me. Now, obviously, you could say, oh, well, they didn't have a lot of women choices. They had Michelle McCool there, which also made sense. But honestly, though, I really felt like Maria and Terry Runnels didn't make sense. Everybody else made sense. I really wish they could have just had AJ, just pay AJ that much money just to stand there on the stage and just show that she was very popular for the company. I wish they just did that. I would have popped for it. I would have popped to see AJ, but I popped for Kelly and the Bella Twins. And I guess I popped a little bit for Maria, just a little bit, but honestly though, it really confused me, that women's podium. Kind of confused me, but what can you do? They had the GMs, they had John Laurinaitis. God help my soul, I hated that guy. They had Eric Bischoff. Didn't like him much either. Who else did they have there? Can't remember, but they had someone else there. William Regal. They had the NXT GM there, William Regal. They had William Regal there, and then they had Daniel Bryan come out. So some of the SmackDown guys and girls did have some appearances, but not really big major roles. And they had like an APA segment, and they also had the Brooklyn Brawler appear, along with other legends backstage of Kurt Angle. They had the APA segment. Now, the APA one, I must say, was pretty drawn out. Now I know I know they've done this in the Attitude Era, which I'm okay. I'm okay with that. So please tell me no, I don't hate it. Is the fact that they started off with Heath Slater and Rhino. Like Heath Slater and Rhino were playing, I believe it was poker. They were playing poker with cards, and they were playing poker with cards, and then they had the $1 Million Man Ted DiBiase Sr. come in with the $1 Million Championship, and then eventually they had MVP there. You know, I guess I was correct about MVP, but I thought he was going to have a bigger role. I thought MVP being there was going to be a much more bigger role. I thought they were going to have him come to the ring and say some words, but they really didn't have much for MVP. Now, obviously, I didn't watch the pre-show. He might have been on the pre-show, but I don't know. I don't know. I was genuinely disappointed that they brought MVP back for this. Maybe he was on the pre-show. I don't know, but MVP, you know, was there, and then they continued on with it as they brought in more people. They had Natalya there. Now, I want to get on to Natalya, so before I get on to that, I'm going to keep her name on hold for a bit. Then they had New Day there, then they had Usos, then they had Titus Worldwide. You know, Dana Brooke was telling Heath Slater, oh, according to my numbers, you lose, and then Heath Slater thought he won, and then she was like, oh, by my numbers, you're cheating, and that all led to a tag team match. So you're telling me that this whole segment revolved into Heath Slater looking like a complete idiot, and then having a match with Titus Worldwide, which all led to the Dudley Boys. It's all led to the Dudley Boys coming out, and then Titus Worldwide and Rhino, his own tag team partner, Heath Slater's own tag team partner, he throws Heath Slater to the Dudley Boys. So is this the end of Heath Slater and Rhino now? Is this the end of the Heath Slater and Rhino tag team? I really hope so, because I'm losing. I really hope so, because I'm really getting sick and tired of this. Just break up Heath Slater and Rhino already. Just break them up. Turn Rhino heel, or turn Heath Slater heel. Either one. Just turn either one of them heel. Have them in a little quick rivalry, and then just get it over with. I am completely lost. I've lost so much interest. I've lost so much interest in Heath and Rhino. I was really into them on SmackDown. I really was. I was really into them on SmackDown. SmackDown did a really good job with Heath and Rhino, but Monday Night Raw, you know, I really don't care. I really don't care. That's how I felt. Bray Wyatt had a match with Woken Matt Hardy. This was a very disappointing match. The Manhattan Center only had 2 matches the entire show. They had more segments than shows. And there was a report going around that they were going to have Razor Ramon and X-Pac have a match. Really, do we really need to see 2 legends fight? But obviously it didn't happen. Matt Hardy lost to Bray Wyatt. Bray Wyatt beat him. And we had the Peak Show. We had a Peak Show segment, and this made me wonder, where's Edge? You know, I was very surprised they didn't have Edge on the show, and that's what really confused me. I was like, they had Christian there. They only had Christian there just to say a few words, and then that was it. He didn't get a chance to say any questions. Jason Jordan was just being Jason Jordan. Getting on everybody's skin as always. And what else happened on here? We had The Undertaker. He had a brief comeback. And before I get into the last few things, I want to get on to... And also they had John Cena and Elias. You know, their segment was okay. Now, before I get on to anything else... Now, I said I was going to talk about Natalya really quick. Now, yes, I'm going to talk about Natalya really quick, so let me get on with it. The segment with APA. Now, I've seen this in the past. I have seen what this is like in the past, because my brother has, you know, showed me episodes of Raw what it was like back in the 90s and all that. You know, the APA always play that poker game with baby faces. Like, he plays them with baby faces and sometimes heels. But in day and age, it would most likely be the baby faces. Like, they were playing poker with the baby faces. And Natalya was there. And Natalya, she's meant to be a heel, correct? Okay, she's meant to be a heel. And it came to a point where I was thinking, hang on. If she's there, then does that make her a babyface now? I wasn't really sure, but I'm not going to talk too much on this, but I'm not going to talk too much on that, but I found that pretty odd. Then we had... Now, one more thing before I move on to the final sections. Let's talk about The Miz and Roman Reigns. This match was a disappointment to me, and the weird thing about this is that they said The Miz was... I heard them mention the Royal Rumble. I thought they mentioned Roman Reigns. I thought they said that Roman Reigns has officially entered the Royal Rumble match. But then it was The Miz. But then I found out that when they showed the graphic, they had The Miz participate in the Royal Rumble, and I was confused. Hang on. I was confused, you know? I was generally confused that The Miz entered himself in the Royal Rumble. Now, obviously, I think Roman Reigns is going to enter himself in the Rumble too, but with Roman Reigns losing the Intercontinental Championship, now people can chill out. Now people can chill out about the fact that Roman Reigns is going to be heading into WrestleMania with the Intercontinental Championship. People can now chill out about it. So, Miz is now an 8-time Intercontinental Champion. I didn't even know he had it 7 times. I thought he had it about 5 or 6. He is 1 championship away, 1 title win away from Chris Jericho. I can't believe it. The Miz is an 8-time champion. I'm shocked. I'm shocked that The Miz is an 8-time champion. I can't believe he's won the Intercontinental title that many times. But The Miz is our new Intercontinental champion. Let's move on to one more segment before the actual main event. We also had DX reunite. Triple H and Shawn Michaels, New Age Outlaws, X-Pac. They even had Razor Ramon. They also had Razor Ramon come out, and this is where I was thinking. So are they really going to go through with that whole match that there was rumored going around that they were going to have Razor Ramon and X-Pac have a match? But no. This all led to the Balor Club coming out, and I was getting a little confused here, wondering what's going on here. And then next thing, the Revival come out. They all did the Too Sweet, and the next thing, the Revival come out, and then it looked like they had a match with Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson. This match was just a downright disappointment. Like I said, I really didn't enjoy myself in this show. Like I said, I only popped a few times. Like I mentioned before, I popped for Stone Cold, I popped for the Bella Twins, I popped for Charlotte, and I popped for Kelly. And I had a little pop with Maria. It really showed how much I really cared. I only popped for a few things. So then we had the Revival and Gallows and Anderson. Gallows and Anderson get the win with the Magic Killer, and then looks like we've just witnessed the burial of the Revival. Yes, I know, you're pretty shocked to hear me say buried, but I know I hate that term, but it looks like it's happened. This happened last time. This happened last time when they brought in a bunch of legends. they had the Ascension say something, and this all caused a whole bunch of legends to come out and beat the shit out of the Ascension. Could this whole lead to that again? Could we see the Revival just beat on another legend? Could we see this again with the legends? But the Revival got their asses kicked by DX and Razor Ramon. Razor Ramon just threw that thing at him that he has in his mouth, that stick he has in his mouth. Road Dogg gave him a few punches, then X-Pac gave him a face buster, or the X Factor as they call it, then a switch in music, and then Triple H doing the pedigree on the Revival. That really looked really wrong in my opinion. That looked really silly in my honest opinion. Because, Triple H is pedigreeing his own creation. Because he created the Revival. Seeing Triple H pedigree his creations from NXT looked really weird. It looked incredibly weird. And then in the end, you had Finn Balor do the coup de grace. So, in my opinion, it looks like the Revival are now never going to be revived. The Revival is pretty much dead at this point. Then we had the final segment. Possibly one of the worst segments I've ever seen. And they were hyping it up. As what WWE always do, they were hyping it up as like, all three together. All three standing in the ring. All three in the same ring. They had Braun come out first. They had Kurt Angle coming out with all these people. And it looked like that he was being prepared in case if a brawl broke out. And this is where it got stupid. They had Braun and Kane in the ring. You'd see a few people, standing in a straight line, like cutting through to prevent people from getting in the ring. And then they had Brock Lesnar come out. Brock Lesnar immediately takes off the title and gives it to Paul Heyman. And then all the people that were supposed to stop these people, stopping these three guys from wrestling, they all just stood back. They all just stood back and let them fight. I was wondering, what the hell is this? Like, weren't they supposed to be there to keep everybody in check? So it was pointless. It was absolutely pointless. Braun Strowman did a quick move on Kane, and then Braun went out of the ring, and Brock Lesnar, like Sonic the Hedgehog, like clotheslined Braun really fast. Like Braun, like I said, like Brock Lesnar was like Sonic the Hedgehog. He ran down there really quick and gave him a clothesline, and then he gave Kane an F5, and that was the end of Kane. And then Braun Strowman beat the crap out of Brock Lesnar for a bit, and then slammed him through a table, and that was pretty much it. That was the segment. That was the segment that they were hyping so much about. In my opinion, Raw 25 was, a bit of a disappointment. I'm not going to talk about every segment. Like I said, they had The Undertaker. He came out. They had the past GMs appear. I was very disappointed in this show. In my opinion. I was very disappointed in this show. Sure, The Miz winning the Intercontinental Championship. Would I say it surprised me? Not really. No, it didn't surprise me. Because all my friends were asking me, one of my friends was asking me, who's Roman going to lose the Intercontinental Championship to? And I even said that they're going to have The Miz take it off him. And The Miz, so pretty much what they did is that they took the Intercontinental Championship off of The Miz so that he could go off filming his movie, come back and go back into the same position he was in. So what are The Miz's plans for WrestleMania? What is he going to do for WrestleMania? Who is he going to defend his title against? I'd say Finn Balor. Maybe Samoa Joe. There are some good options for The Miz. But The Miz is an 8-time Intercontinental Champion, and that surprised me. Overall, Raw 25 really didn't excite me that much. Like I said, I popped a little bit. Stone Cold. These are the times I popped. Got excited. The only times I got excited were Stone Cold, Nikki and Brie, Kelly, and a little bit of Maria and Charlotte Flair. 5 times. 5 times I popped. That really did, does that show you I was really interested in the show? Not really. Like I said, everybody is entitled to their own opinion. You can say what you want. You know, you can say you enjoyed the show. You can say that you had a lot of fun watching the show. You guys can tell me whatever you want. You can tell me whatever you want. That's fine. I'm cool. So anyway, guys, that is my Raw 25 review. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I will see you for my SmackDown Live review tomorrow. Catch you later.